Everybody, thanks for joining us again. In our series around talking about working remotely and how do we enable a remote workforce, how do we optimize our employees. Um, a big part of the conversation is getting started with teams and how to just jumpstart this, right? Because there's a big problem around team sprawl, and teams are going to be all over the show, and IT needs to take control of the process while keeping people productive. There is no luxury of putting in policies in place that are going to take 6 months. So on the line, I've got Warren Marks, Director for APAC of Africa.
Africa and the Middle East.
APAC and the Middle East. And in discussion today with Warren, I quickly want to touch base on what can organizations do to really jumpstart teams in a safe way and in a responsible way. And I know AvePoint's been doing some interesting stuff. Warren?
Yeah, we certainly have. And I guess the mindset change for people to understand is, other than being not being in person, teams from a collaboration perspective gives you exactly the same platform for collaboration as an office does. So as long as it's set up correctly and you can be driving the behavior to ensure you have the right people collaborating together, you get a similar sort of experience. And what I mean by that is when you're sitting in the office before COVID-19 hit the world and forced us to work from home, you wouldn't be blindly walking around your office trying to find the right meeting room to be talking to your peers and be collaborating with your peers. And it's no different with teams. So the idea with teams is to ensure that everyone has a map or a blueprint to find the teams that are relevant to them and get access to people that are relevant to them. The risk without having governance or controls in place around teams and teams adoption is you could have a scenario where a 5-member team all needs to collaborate on a single topic, and all of them are creating their own teams rather than creating a central team for everybody to come into and be collaborating together. So the controls and giving users visibility to the various collaboration workspaces, just like you would have in an office, by making the boardrooms that are available visible to everyone, that they can meet at a collective collaboration space. If you have the controls in place to give users the means to identify where they need to go, you will be having the same output of collaboration that you were having in an office space. The biggest difference between teams and meeting face to face is there's a lot of intellectual property that's being created from an organization perspective, and that's housed in a digital format within teams. So ensuring the right teams are available and driving the right behavior across users, that they can find the correct collaboration workspace, is one side of it. But from a business perspective, you still need to ensure you can protect that intellectual property that's being created. So ensuring that the right people have access to it, that the right controls are in place, that you're not sharing that content externally, and you need to ensure that you're driving the right security measures around those teams. And then the final piece of it is the life cycle of those teams and the intellectual property that's created within them. So if you have a collaboration team for a specific project that you're working on, and it's only a 3-month project, at the end of that period, you want to be able to archive or back up and delete those teams, that you don't have stale content floating around your cloud environment.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I know the one of the sort of limitations that we have from a Microsoft perspective is the fact that, I mean, there are retention policies, and then it sort of just parks the content, and it doesn't really do much with it from an archiving perspective. And just from personal experience, I do know that's something that AvePoint's helped me at clients before. Cool. Warren, thank you so much. As I said, we were just going to have a quick 5-minute chat. I do look forward to exploring some of the more detailed concepts around lifecycle management specifically with you over the next couple of days. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolute pleasure. I look forward to the next session.
All right, great stuff. Thanks, Warren.